Hello everyone. In this video, let's see what are the uses of protocol extensions. So basically, we can write extensions to the protocol. In this video, we will see technically what are the benefits that protocol extensions provide. So uh, let me take a protocol first in place. I'm taking a protocol called a fruit protocol. Sorry, a fruit protocol. So a fruit. Let me have a method which is like print price of the fruit it contains, and of course protocols cannot have stored properties. It can have only computed properties. So, for example, the description of the fruit, which is string, so it will be having only getter, and also the price of the fruit, which is integer, and it is also a getter. So this is my protocol. Okay, and let's say we have sorry let's say we have a structure. uh, so we will come to the models later. So this is the protocol. Now I can write an extension on a protocol. So when and where and how these are useful. So the first benefit is we can add default method and property uh, implementation. So what does it mean? That means, for example, this print price and description. For example, I want to have a default and price also. I want to have a default method and property implementation. That means if any model, let's say for example, we have a fruit called apple, let's say. Okay, so if I say like, okay, apple, of course it is a fruit, it has to conform to the fruit protocol. So what it says, it has to implement all this, correct? If I write, it has to implement all this. For example, I just want to go with these two being the default things. For example, uh, for few models which implements the fruit protocol, they don't want to implement this print price and description. In that case, I need to provide some default implementation. So in that case, I want to go ahead with a default implementation of function print price, which is just the default implementation. That means if the model is not implementing, the protocol extension is the place where you can go ahead and do the default implementation. That means what you can write, for example, this fruit is not available. If it doesn't implement it, when you say print price, the default implementation of fruit protocol is this fruit is not available. In the same way, the description also, the description is a getter, right? For example, when the fruit is not available, description also, I just want to return it, that is not available. That means if you can see here, what I have done is I have implemented the default implementation of a method and a property implementation. So that means, for example, this structure, now it will not add all the steps, it will just ask you for the price. Why? Because this fruit protocol is taking care of this one and this one, print price and description. So all the models which are conforming to the fruit protocol now only has to implement the price. Let me say the default implementation of this apple price is some $10. Now this is enough. So what happens when I create an instance of apple and write the print price? Why? Because this is not implementing anything, so default one, this should get implemented. See, default got implemented, correct? And having said that, we can override it, the default implementation. So I can simply write the price of the apple. Okay, the price of an apple is this much. So if I do this, instead of default one, this will get executed. The price of an apple is $10. Okay, perfect. Let it be like this. For example, let me take another fruit, struct mango, which conforms to the fruit protocol. Let me copy paste. So again, as it is fruit protocol, it will ask only the price. Why? Because everything else is available. So obviously mango, it is like, let's say $5. So it's clear now, correct? So the first benefit of protocol extension is I can do default method and property implementation, so that it's not mandatory, or these models can omit these things if they are okay with the default implementation. Otherwise they can override like this. Good. Okay, what is the benefit of the what is the next benefit? Now what I can say, the second benefit is conditional extensions. That means, okay, I want to extend my protocol where self means the model, which model could be the model, which here is could be apple and mango, which is equal to, if it is mango, this is a conditional conformance, correct? If it is a mango, I want to have the default implementation, not this one. I'm overriding it now. Now the default implementation of mangoes, is this is not mangoes season. Make sense? This is not mango season. Now this is the conditional extensions. Like that I can add it for any model, the default implementation. Now if I try to do dot create an instance and print price, so as you can see, mango is not having any print price implementation, and as we have written the conditional conformance, it should not go to the default one. Now this is what I'm expecting. Let's see whether it gets printed or not. Correct? Okay, it's running. I don't know why it is so much of time. Let me stop it and run it here again. Yeah, this is not mango season, right? Second use case is conditional extensions. So if you are giving a default implementation, what you can do is, boss, if it is mango, do this. If it is apple, do this. Correct? Okay, this is fine. Now what is the third benefit? Okay, let's come to the third benefit. What is the third benefit? Now I can add new methods. Correct? I can add new methods, meaning, for example, if it makes sense, instead of defining something here and making it mandatory for the fruit protocol, if it makes sense, I can add a new method. For example, something like, if I want to say is costlier than, for example, if I need to compare prices of two fruits and let the user know like which one is the costliest, then I can pass it like this, instead of passing the model as I do with the protocol, the fruit protocol. Now what I do, simply return. Here self means the instance. I'll explain it in a while. Self dot price greater than the parameter fruit dot price. Now just to test it, apple instance is costlier. See, that means this apple instance is nothing but self here. Apple dot price is costlier than, for example, I am creating a mango instance. Now see whether it works. That means, sorry, it should return a bool. Of course it's a boolean value. Now let's see whether it returns bool or not. Correct? Now if I see, it is true. Why? Because apple is of $10, whereas mango is of $5. Now let's do the other way. For example, if this is mango, if this is apple, now run it, of course it should be given false. Correct? Mango price is lesser than apple, and this is a new method, and uh, every model which is implementing this protocol doesn't need to implement this method. This is an extra method that is provided with the help of protocol extension, which is useful for everything that is following the protocol if we need to compare the prices. So hope this is clear. These are the benefits, and these protocol extensions are very useful in our daily programming, where using which we can add default method and property implementation and conditional extensions, and as well as we can add the new methods, and these new methods don't need to be there in the protocol, and these models doesn't need to implement it, and these are some extra benefits. So these are for free. Okay, hope this post is very helpful. Thank you.